discuss it? I'd like to call this Harriman City Council May the 5th, 2020 to order. Just want everybody to know that this meeting is held under the special authority granted by the governor's executive order, and it will not be open to the public, but it will be live streamed on Facebook and on BBB. Before we get started, we'll have a prayer by Councilman Wright, followed by the pledge to the flag. Councilman Wright.
Thank you, Mayor. Would you bow your head, please? Our Father, as we face these uncertain times here in our nation and throughout the world, our prayer is that you'll be with us and that you'll give our leaders the wisdom to know what to do and the courage to do what they need to do. May your Spirit touch the hearts of all people, and your light and truth guide us all in everything that we do. We're encouraged by your word, and we trust our nation to your love and care. Thank you for all you have done already, and we thank you for allowing us to meet here tonight. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Alicia Harris.
Here.
Betty Holly.
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Kenyon Me.
Here.
Sam Russell.
Here.
Lonnie Wright.
Here.
I'd like to declare a quorum. Need a motion to approve the minutes of the April 21st, 2020 meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Wright. Second by Councilman Holly. Councilman Wright.
No, sir.
Councilman Holly. No wonder everybody's looking at me, Councilman Johnson. I apologize.
That's okay.
Will you show that Councilman Johnson made that motion? Councilman Holly seconded that motion, and Councilman Wright did not hit me with his leg, so. Councilman Johnson, you didn't have anything?
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Betty Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Kenyon Me.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. Need a motion to pay the salaries.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Russell.
Second.
Second by Councilman Meade. Councilman Russell.
sir.
Councilman Meade.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Betty Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Kenyon Me.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. Motion to pay the bills.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Wright.
I second it.
Second by Councilman Johnson. Councilman Wright.
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Betty Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Kenyon Me.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. As we go into reports, as you all know, we still are not allowing a bunch of people in to do reports. We'll still be getting those emailed to us to look over the police, the fire, the different reports. So, Dr. Carter, you have anything?
Since the last time we met, I participated in a seminar that was based on COVID-19 sales tax and job vulnerability. And they have a data set for all of the state of Tennessee. So I took the tools and ran them with, you have to put in some assumptions, but I took the tools and ran them and came up with a sector by sector impact in Rome County. So that's going to be useful, I think, in making final determination what our revenues will be in the next budget period. So it's a useful tool, but it's not a model, it's a tool. Primarily because you have to put some assumptions in there to run it. So But I do find it useful to look at the sectors, which, as you recall, possibly I sent out a draft memo relating to the top 10 revenues in the city. And so that will help me do a little bit of evaluation of and finalizing what those revenues will be next budget period. So, other than that, I've been working on completing paperwork for LGIP account and for the lighting project. So that's it.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments for Dr. Curley? Thanks, sir. Charlie Jones here with the rec department. They've got a lot going on, so I asked him to come and give a quick update about some of the projects they've got going on at this time, so you all are aware of what all we've got going.
Well, just a few things we've got. Probably give an update on Riverfront Park. We've got, they're starting the foundation. They're coming this week, Thursday and Friday, and doing the concrete border. Then next week, come and put the foundation down. They're finally getting, where they can get people out to do that.
You talk playground equipment or the park,
I'm sorry, well, this one here is actually the foundation for the playground equipment.
okay.
So we'll be doing that one. We're actually putting a concrete border all the way around. Then they're going to have to do that. They're going to come and pull the foam foundation in that for next week. And we've been working with the Harriman Utility Board with Josh Gillespie, working on the grant we have from the NRCS. I think Kevin Helms has been working all together down there. We get the funding for that. You get the funding for the money for that, and there'll be hopefully no more of that in a couple of weeks. And some other things we got going on. We ordered the fairway mower. They're supposed to be in here sometime this week to get that in. And we're trying to work on a baseball and softball season. We don't know if we're going to be able to do it or not, but we'll work with Kingston and Rockwood and Midway. Maybe checking the 1st of June. If we're allowed to do that, we're going to kind of move forward with that. Maybe have like a 4 or 6 week season if we can go, if we're allowed to do that. And that's about what we got going on.
Okay, anybody have any comments for Mr. Jones with Parks and Rec? I just want to touch base just a little bit about the park. I've been getting the emails where Mr. Gillespie's been working with the NCR or NRC, whatever.
NCRS.
About the funding, and as Mr. Jones says, we have been approved for the funding. The thing that I want council to be aware of, they're projecting over $1 million will be spent in the park alone on the bank park. The estimates was in the email, and I didn't look at it, but our part is going to be somewhere right around $300,000. So that's something we need to be aware of. That's something that I don't think we budgeted this year. And from reading this thing, it started May 1st, and it has to be completed by December the 31st or December 1st of this year. So they're giving you like 8 or 9 months to have this completed and done and the money spent. So just want y'all to be aware that that's a $300,000 lick that we probably didn't put in the budget. Dr. Curley, you and Kevin can be trying to figure out on those fundings. We may have put some in there. I don't think we did. I don't think we put that kind of money in for that bank. But that just gives you all an update of what we're going to be looking at. All right, Kevin.
We've got several things I was going to update you on tonight. Our major projects that we have going on at the present time. In case you're interested, after the meeting, if you want to come over and take a look, I've got a set of the drawings here. It should be a complete set of everything that's going to be a part of the LPRF grant for the splash pad at the community center, as well as the new playground equipment at Triangle Park. Designs, drawings. That is open for construction bids now. It opened up this week. We'll be opening them at the end of the month with the hope, plans, that council will have the bid presented to them at the first meeting in June for award to the lowest contractor. Also over here, if you're interested, there is a set of the plans for the Margrave Drive project. We've still got a permit that we've got to get from TDOT, and then their review and approval of the plans in their finalized form. There may be a couple of very small changes that have been made to the drawings since this particular set was printed, but they are very minor. This will be very close to what we would actually construct, assuming TDOT gives their final okay. But they have reviewed it twice so far, so it shouldn't change significantly from this point to the time it goes to construction. So hopefully that will go to bid within the next 4 to 6 weeks. As Dr. Curley mentioned, he's been working on the LGIP account for the interstate lighting. That contract with TDOT has been executed, and as soon as we're able to finalize that with LGIP, that project will move into design, and TDOT will begin designing that. We also received a contract, and the mayor executed it and sent it back to TDOT for the rehabilitation of the Pansy Hill Bridge. That is a project that will be moving to design. That's what this particular phase of the contract calls for. That was one of the projects that was in the Governor Haslam's plan when they raised the gas tax a few years back. That was one of the projects that would be funded, and so it's funded 100% by the state. The city doesn't have to put any funding into the project. However, because we do own the bridge, because it's not on the state system, we do have to enter into a contract with them to allow them to do the work. So that's why there's a contract involved. We just recently received a 1-year extension on our home grant program. We've got several homes that are really ready to go to bid. Probably could have already gone to bid if it wasn't for the COVID situation that we're dealing with, and some testing that you need to do on the homes, and it's just really not a great time to be doing that, because ideally we would go into the homes to do that. And so that whole program from the federal level down, they've been trying to figure out how to maybe give some flexibility on some of the things that you have to do to get ready to go to bid, and not be quite as stringent as they typically are in the past because of the environment that we're currently in. The CMAQ grant, which is the one for the signal modifications, upgrade, and timing, the request for qualifications for engineering services are ready to go out on that. The street committee will be reviewing the responses that are received and making a recommendation to the council in the near future as to an engineering firm to do the design on that particular project, but that RFQ should go out sometime this month. Our paperwork is still moving forward very well with the USDA for the funding of this facility here, as well as the demolition of the hospital. So that's something that is still progressing at a good pace now. And also the design work is still ongoing for the Transportation Alternatives Program grant that we have to upgrade the sidewalks and the lighting along Rome Street from the Crescent intersection up to Georgia, there at the front door to Harriman High School. We did receive notification that we were not awarded the multimodal grant that we had applied for through TDOT, which would have provided us funding to do some additional sidewalks throughout the community. But we do still have a second phase of the Transportation Alternatives Program grant application pending that would be for additional sidewalks starting there at Harriman High School and going up Georgia back towards Harriman Gardens and eventually, hopefully coming on around towards the community center is what our goal, long-term goal is for that project that will be done in several phases. We're kind of at a point where we've stalled with regard to the paperwork and dealing with FEMA. Kenny and I both have about pulled our hair out in dealing with this project and tossed it back and forth between each other. Nobody wants to deal with it anymore. And last week, it just got to the point where I called our congressman's office and just flat out told him how much trouble we were having with the project. It's one of the most ridiculous situations that I've dealt with on any program throughout my career. So I'm not really sure what the outcome is going to be on that, but if nothing else, I've vented my frustration, and I think Kenny's as well, to our congressional office. TDOT also has design going on for the rehabilitation of the South Run Street Bridge. So that is kind of running concurrently with the Pansy Hill design work. And then lastly, should be getting some information out to you soon as to what we kind of foresee our plans to be in the near term with regard to possibly reopening a few of the city facilities to the public, still keeping within the guidelines of what the governor's orders have been and what the CDC recommends. But we'll let y'all take a look at that and provide some feedback, and then we can kind of figure out if we need to make any adjustments to that. Also, it's something that is subject to change based upon the information that we receive and whether or not the governor or the CDC changes any of their recommendations as well. So I'll take questions if you have any.
Yes, the Pansy Hill TDOT work, is that just the bridge or is it the road as well?
It's just the bridge.
Just the bridge. Roads could use some work.
It
Could anything else replace all the banged up guardrails, because all of them have been hit, every one.
It may include a little bit of the approaches to the bridge, but it will not extend very far from the bridge.
Any questions, City Manager? Thanks, sir. We'll go into new business. The first item on the agenda, if it's all right with council, I'd like to take that off at this time. I did talk with the general manager at HEB today about this specific item, and I had a lot of questions. So what I've asked her is if we as a council could sit down with maybe her and some of her board members and let them kind of explain to us what they're proposing to do and how they're proposing to do it. I think we'd all be on the same page and a lot better off. So I've set a workshop up with them on Monday at 10 o'clock at HEB. Does that sound right? So any council member that wants to go, it will be at the down at the HEB building. The ones that don't want to go, we can have you call in on the phones that's there, and you can listen in. But basically, just so you all are updated with what you want to do. I just feel like when we're looking at this size money, we need to sit down and talk and figure out what projects they got going and where we stand with it. So if it's all right with council, I'll take that off until after we have our workshop with HEB.
What's the date for that Monday?
Do what now?
What's the date for that Monday?
Well,
Yeah,
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock at their conference room.
That's on the second floor.
Well, I think they're gonna meet don't really have their meetings at,
Oh, okay. That's down.
which is downstairs. That way we're separated and we've got room. So 10 o'clock Monday. All right, the other item on there, discuss and possibly approve resolution R0520-02, a joint resolution requesting Senator Ken Yeager and Representative Kent Calfee to introduce legislation allowing Roane County schools to start after Labor Day, Monday, September the 7th, 2020, as a safety measure concerning COVID-19. This is something that Rockwood has already approved. Kingston has it on their agenda to approve. And I think what they're looking at is a lot of these children have been confined in because we've all been confined in, and they're hoping as things start opening up, it gives them a little bit more time to be able to go on vacation or do something with their, I know we've been stuck in with their family, but it's just trying to give the kids a little bit more time. And it's looking at the safety aspect as we look at these numbers and they still continue to go up, so. Motion to approve.
I make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson. Second?
I second.
Second by Councilman Harris. Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir, I don't have anything.
Councilwoman Harris.
I don't have anything.
Floor is open for discussion.
Who drew this up?
Rockwood, I think, is who drew it up. No other discussion, call roll, please.
Alicia Harris,
Yes.
Buddy Holly,
Yes.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Kenny Me,
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. That is all on the agenda except for the council remarks. Councilman Russell.
No, I don't have anything.
Councilman Wright.
Motion.
Councilman Meade.
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson.
Yeah, just something real quick. Kevin, when we had that issue the other night with the fire department, it must have been a mess because I was getting calls left and right over it. So if we had a plan in place, it didn't go too well. So we need to be more coordinated and talk to each other and communicate with each other better, because from what I was hearing the next morning, it was a total disaster. So we gotta do something better about that. That's all I've got.
I've got a couple of things. The first thing, Kevin, will you get out the,
And Miss Harris.
man, I'm jumping around. You guys, this thing's got me all messed up. Our seating is messed up, so I'm not going in order here. Councilwoman Harris, do you have anything?
Mayor, I would just like to tell the council I'm excited about being able to support the city of Harriman for this brief period of time, and I'm open to help in whatever area you need me to help in.
Thank you. We're glad to have you be a part of us. Councilman Holly.
No, sir.
All right. Now I can go to mine. A couple things real quick. I'd like to get the yearly evaluation sent out to everyone on the city manager. I think it's time we got to do that. I think it was maybe in February, so we'll get those out to you in the next couple of weeks, get them filled out and turned in, so we can have those. The only other thing I've got is I asked the city manager to give everyone a copy. Did you send Alicia? Councilwoman Harris? All right, we'll,
I can't remember if I sent one the other day or not.
okay, all right. Basically what this is, it's from the Office of the County Executor, and it's telling us how our funding will be changing a little bit as far as reappraisals, as to what we will be paying as a city. Not the reappraisals that everybody got in the mail. This has nothing to do with that and how those was calculated. But basically what this is saying is, in 1994, they passed a new law where the cities are held accountable to pay half the reappraisal during the reappraisal year. And they got letters sent to them. And in 1998, the county did, just confirming that that's what's going on. So that's been going on since then. Well, I get a phone call about 3 weeks ago from the property assessor, and she informs me that the city of Harriman's reappraisal per year amount will become $44,000 and whatever, a little $44,000. And I said, why is it going up so much? And she said, well, they haven't been billing right, it wasn't done right, and, you know, the previous ones didn't do it. So we went back and looked to see, last year, this is what we got. It says the county has completed the review of the parcels of property inside the city of Harriman according to the agreed reappraisal plan. The agreed reappraisal plan, which is what? They say they don't have a plan, but here's it says that they do, and this was April 23rd, 2019. Hereby request payment within 30 days of 3,656 taxable parcels in the city at $5 a parcel, which comes to $4,570. That was our part last year, $4,570. This year, $44,000 and some odd dollars is what it shows in here. I called the county executive, talked to him, and he really hadn't done enough studying on it to say whether it was right or wrong, but I guess since then he has, because he's kind of agreeing with what she's saying. My only other problem is that reappraisal's been paid for by the county for all those years. They base that on the tax rate that they tax the citizens of Harriman. That's included in on your taxes. So my question to the county executive was, so are you going to lower the county tax rate in the city of Harriman to offset this number, so the city of Harriman will have to raise the taxes to pay for this amount of money? And I get a laugh, and well, we don't lower taxes. That's the answer I get. That's the answer every city's getting. In saying that, my feelings is, as a city, we're going to be taxed twice. You're taxed on your county, and then you're going to be taxed on your city to pay this bill. So all the mayors met last Friday, and we sat down and we talked about how we feel. We're all on the same page. We all are disputing it. We all are saying it's not right. It has already been paid for. It is already in on our taxes. It's not right. It's just another way to get more money from the cities. So what the other cities are saying is, we'll pay our fair part. You know, nobody's saying we won't. We always have and we always will. Our fair part. But when I get a letter and it says your agreed reappraisal plan in 2019, and then I get something that says we don't have an agreement. Well, 1 year we do, 1 year we don't, so I don't really know what they're doing. I just feel like the council needs to be aware of what's going on. This will be something that will not go away probably. It will be something that we may be in litigation with. I don't know. I hope not. I hope it's something that we can work with each other. The number one thing that we need in this county is working together as a team and as closely as we can. And, you know, we all know what's going on outside these walls. And then we get a bill that we don't even really know what it's about, and they can't explain it. And when I talk to one says go to the other, and the other says go to this, and I ask for a meeting. Well, we can't meet right now because of the COVID-19, but we can do a phone. You know, this is a lot of money. It's about 5 or 6 cents on our tax rate, and it's not fair for us to put it back on our citizens when it's already on. That's my personal feelings. Now, I may be taught differently. There may be something I'm missing in this loop, but I don't think so. But I wanted you all to have a copy of it, to look at it. We can discuss it. You all can tell me which direction you would want me to go. But I feel like that, you know, right now, it's not fair that we pay the tax for it, and then we pay it again. Where does that extra money go? And if you'll look, it shows that their budget is $900 and something thousand. a year, is that $900-something thousand for just the reappraisal? Or is that $900-something thousand for the whole office? If so, if you look at what we're all paying, we're all paying a big chunk of that. So I'm just a little concerned that maybe they didn't understand it right, and we have checked. I've asked the city manager to call around to other communities to see what they're paying, to find out if this is going on anywhere else. And I'll let Kevin just kind of brief that real quick, what he's done in researching some of this.
Well, just a few of the places that I've talked to, I contacted a number of cities that they don't even pay for reappraisal at all. The county covers the cost entirely. But there are some that do pay. Our interpretation of the law is that we're responsible for costs of the reappraisal and only the cost of the reappraisal, not the entire office. And that's due once every 4 years, though you can agree to a payment plan so that you pay it equally within each fiscal year. That is what Maryville and Blount County have done, is that they've agreed to come up with a figure of what it is, divided it by 4 or 5, however often it is that they're reappraised, and that's the payment that they make each year. MTAS agrees with our interpretation of the law. And then as far as give you something to compare it to, City of Spring Hill is located in 2 counties, Williamson County and Murray County. Williamson County doesn't charge the cities for reappraisals. Murray County does. They have 6,643 parcels in Murray County, and they paid $15,438 last year for those 6,643 parcels, compared to our 3,900 and some odd parcels that we have. The only other place that I have found so far that they're trying to make a similar agreement to what's being requested here is in Anderson County.
And understand, I'm not faulting the property assessor or the county executive. I'm not faulting anyone. I think that they went to a class that CTAS had put on for them, and that's what they was informed that they should be doing. And so, I think that's what they're doing. But the problem is we have tried to communicate in part and tried to talk and explain, and it's not going anywhere. So I just. I watch what Rockwood talked about the same thing in their meeting. Kingston's going to address it in theirs. It's just not fair right now. It's not. If it's our part, we'll pay it. But I think it's already been paid by the taxes that the county draws off the city. So I don't think that we owe that.
And just for the record, because I didn't mention all of the places that I had talked to, but just so you'll have it, in addition to Anderson County, we had McMahon, Hamilton, Blount, Coffee, Franklin, Williamson, and Murray that I surveyed.
Okay. And Anderson County is the only one that is even looking at this, and I understand that their property assessor went the same time with ours. Any comments from council?
I think you're on the right track now.
Yeah, this seems,
Well, I will try to set up a meeting with their office as soon as they will allow it, and maybe we'll get some better answers, but until then, I'm not sure what kind of bills we'll start getting, but we'll go from there as we get them, and I'll keep you all updated. Anything else need to come before this council? Motion to adjourn. Motion by Councilman Russell, second by Councilman Johnson. Any opposed? All agree, aye? Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Man, y'all, I'm